Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about a veto and schools being funded until the year 24-25, thanks to the clever use of a partial veto in Wisconsin and a surprising ruling from the state Supreme Court. First, some background information. The governor of Wisconsin has one of the most powerful partial vetoes in the country. The veto allows the governor to veto just bits and pieces of legislation. In July 2023, Governor Tony Evers attempted a novel use of the veto. He simply vetoed a few numbers and a hyphen in a budget bill. The original bill provided a funding boost to schools until the 2024 through 25 school year. He vetoed the 2, the 0, and the hyphen. So it gave schools the funding boost until the year 24-25. At the time, the governor said he wanted to, quote, provide school districts with predictable long-term increases for the foreseeable future. I don't think many consider 24-25 foreseeable. I'm fairly certain the governor intended it as a method of stressing the importance of school funding. Even though, by the plain reading of the constitutional text, it was allowed, I doubt there was a large expectation of the veto being upheld by the Supreme Court. Well, about that word foreseeable, I don't think anybody foresaw the Supreme Court going with a plain reading of the constitutional text. In a 4-3 decision, the bizarre veto was upheld. I know, somebody is going to say, but wait, Vanna White vetoes where you just remove letters are prohibited. That's right. You can't just remove letters. It doesn't say anything about numbers. The justice, writing for the majority, wrote, quote, we are acutely aware that a 400-year modification is both significant and attention-grabbing. However, our Constitution does not limit the governor's partial veto power based on how much or how little the partial vetoes change policy, even when that change is considerable. The minority said, quote, the decision today cannot be justified under any reasonable reading of the Wisconsin Constitution. It says what it says. So, what happens now? The legislature fixes the governor's veto via new legislation. Sadly, this doesn't actually guarantee the school funding boost for centuries. It can be changed in the next budget. Even the court acknowledged that and listed various ways to prevent this kind of expansive veto. One of the suggestions really seemed to be, write your bills better so this can't happen. So, why does this matter? Every once in a while, the idea of line item veto comes up in the federal government. Even though the Supreme Court has indicated it would need a constitutional amendment, legislators, as recently as 2009, have attempted to move legislation forward. Regardless of your party, remember this funny little incident. And remember how much power this kind of veto grants the executive. Because at the federal level, legislation requiring military action be concluded by a certain year could end up extending it for centuries. The chief executive really shouldn't have this much power. That being said, give the schools their money. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.